They didn't have apps, spreadsheets, or cashback cards. But 1950s housewives were absolute masters of the family budget. So, how did they do it? And why might they have actually been better at managing money than we are today? Let's take a trip back in time and uncover the budgeting brilliance of the 1950s homemaker. First, let's set the scene. In the 1950s, most families lived on one income. That meant the pressure was on to stretch every dollar, and nothing went to waste. Budgeting wasn't optional, it was survival. Reason number one, they tracked every penny on paper. In the 1950s, housewives didn't rely on fancy apps or automatic bank feeds. Instead, they used a simple notebook, a pencil, and unwavering discipline. Every dollar that came in or went out was physically written down. They knew exactly how much they spent on groceries, utilities, and clothing, down to the last cent. Writing things down gave them complete control over their household budgets. It made spending feel real and tangible, reinforcing accountability. Today, with digital tools doing the thinking for us, that conscious connection to our money has largely been lost. Reason number two, they cooked. A lot. In the 1950s, eating out was a rare luxury, not a weekly routine. Housewives cooked dinner from scratch using whole foods with minimal waste and leftovers intentionally planned. They stretched meals creatively, baked their own bread, and made the most of cheaper cuts of meat, not out of trend, but necessity. This was everyday life, built around frugality and resourcefulness. In contrast, today's fast-paced lifestyle often favors convenience over cost, leading many to spend significantly more on takeout and processed foods without realizing the long-term financial impact. Reason number three, they knew the value of use what you have. In the 1950s, families embraced a mindset of making things last. Whether it was sewing clothes, mending socks, or repairing appliances, the default wasn't to replace, it was to fix. Housewives reused containers, saved wrapping paper, and found creative ways to repurpose everyday items. Impulse buying was rare, not because they lacked desire, but because thrift was a way of life. This wasn't about being trendy or minimalist. It was about necessity, resilience, and a deep understanding of the value in what they already had. Reason number four, less advertising equals less spending temptation. In the 1950s, advertising was limited and far less invasive. There was no social media, no algorithm-driven feeds, and no online shopping carts constantly reminding you of what you almost bought. While ads did exist, they weren't everywhere all the time. This reduced exposure meant fewer temptations and fewer wants disguised as needs. Without 24/7 access to shopping and instant gratification, impulse spending was far less common. Housewives weren't bombarded with targeted marketing, and that made it much easier to stick to a budget and spend only on what truly mattered. Reason number five, they used the envelope system. In the 1950s, cash budgeting was the norm, and the envelope system was a household staple. Money for groceries, rent, clothing, and other expenses was physically divided into labeled envelopes. Once the money in an envelope was gone, spending in that category stopped. No exceptions. It was simple, effective, and instilled real financial discipline. There was no room for overspending or blurred boundaries between needs and wants. In contrast, today's credit cards and buy now, pay later options make it easy to spend beyond our means without fully realizing the impact until it's too late. Reason number six, entertainment was low cost and low key. In the 1950s, family entertainment didn't rely on expensive subscriptions, high-tech gadgets, or a constant stream of Amazon deliveries. Fun was simple and affordable. Board games around the table, home-cooked meals shared with loved ones, or neighborhood socials that brought communities together. Leisure wasn't about spending money. It was about spending time. Living simply wasn't a curated Pinterest aesthetic. It was a practical, everyday reality. This low-cost approach to enjoyment helped families stay within budget while still building meaningful memories, something many of us have lost in today's consumer-driven culture. Reason number seven, they shopped smart. There was no bulk buying at big box stores in the 1950s. Housewives shopped daily for fresh produce, purchasing only what was needed. No excess, no waste. They knew prices by heart, compared costs, and weren't afraid to haggle with local butchers and grocers to get the best deal. Coupons were considered gold, clipped from newspapers and magazines, they played a crucial role in meal planning, often dictating what was cooked that week. Fast forward to today, and many of us pay full price for organic kale. Not out of necessity, but because it's trendy. Reason number 8. They repaired, reused, and recycled. In the 1950s, waste was simply not an option. Clothes were mended, not tossed. Glass jars were cleaned and reused for storage, and food scraps were composted or repurposed into new meals. Stale bread? That became bread pudding. Almost everything had a second life. Today, by contrast, we throw away nearly 40% of our food and replace broken items with a few clicks on Amazon Prime. What they would sew or fix, we often discard without a second thought. Their resourcefulness wasn't optional. It was an essential part of everyday life and financial survival. Reason number 9. They didn't fall for consumer traps. 1950s. Housewives were discerning shoppers. Even though advertisers promoted time-saving gadgets and shiny new appliances, they didn't buy into the hype unless it offered real value or savings. A new fridge in a trendy color wasn't a reason to upgrade. Functionality and durability came first. They resisted unnecessary spending, even when consumer culture tried to lure them in. Fast forward to today, and many of us are on our third iPhone this decade, upgrading for features we barely use. Their financial wisdom lay in questioning every purchase, not chasing the latest thing. Reason number 10. They lived within their means. In the 1950s, credit cards weren't a household norm. Housewives managed their homes on a strict weekly cash allowance, often provided by their husbands. There were no impulse buys, no buy now, pay later schemes. Just careful, disciplined spending. Every penny was tracked in handwritten ledgers with no digital tools or financial apps in sight. It was pen, paper, and pure accountability. They made do with what they had and prioritized needs over wants. Imagine how different our finances might look today if we adopted even a fraction of that mindset. So, were 1950s housewives really better at budgeting than we are? Maybe. Or maybe they were just better at living with less pressure to keep up, less noise from consumer culture, less debt-fueled distraction. Their habits weren't perfect, but there's a lot we can learn from them. Maybe it's time to bring some of that old-school wisdom back. Track your spending, cook more, buy less, repair before replacing. And remember, smart budgeting isn't about having more money. It's about doing more with what you already have. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this nostalgic look back and want more practical, frugal living tips, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell for more.